So tell me somebody who's a raw foodist, somebody who wants to be all raw, and there aren't many people out there who are all raw, but somebody who wants to be all raw, is it in your mind feasible? And give an example of how somebody on an all raw diet can meet their needs protein wise.
Well, if they're on an all raw diet, then they got to eat a lot of sprouts, a lot of sprouted beans to get the protein needs up. So I don't see they can because the raw foodists eat too many fruits, usually too much fruit and avocado. Too much fruit, avocado, and nuts. They're not getting enough vegetables in because how much salad can you eat? The salad is low in calories. So they got to get something in addition to the salad in there. They got to eat a lot of greens, but they should eat the solid salad stuff like raw broccoli too. Chew up the raw, and I guess you can eat artichokes and asparagus raw, right? You can eat all that stuff raw. But I think the addition of if you want to be all raw, you have to sprout legumes to make the diet, increase the dietary quality.
So what's your opinion of the Hippocrates Health Institute style diet? Are you familiar with that?
Yeah.
So what's your opinion of that? Because they're high sprouts. That's a major part of their diet. When I go there, and it's where I got started, they have this big display, and they tell everyone, focus on the sprouts, and then they have a little nice recipe, and they say put a little of that on your plate for taste. And most people do it backwards. They eat the recipe and they put a little sprouts, but the goal is to put a lot of sprouts and a little bit of the raw recipe there. But what's your understanding or idea of the Hippocrates diet? Would you feel that this is a good way if you're going to do a raw diet?
Yeah, I guess so. My problem with it is, and this is just opinion.
Sure.
Is that it's for most people, it's not sustainable. They'll go there, they'll eat that way, and they go home, they gain the weight back. They're not going to stick with it. It's too strict. By adding beans and bean burgers and cooked broccoli with garlic and mushrooms and stuff and vegetable bean soup, by adding cooked foods, you increase the probability the person's going to stay on a healthy diet. It's too few percent of people will stay on a diet that restrictive.
Sure.
And so they stay there, they go eat for a while, they get healthier. It's good for them, sure. But then they're going to go home and gain the weight back, and then it's no benefit if you just did it for a short period of time.
That's
So,
what is
yeah,
mind-boggling to me, Dr. Fuhrman, is I do this. I sprout, and it's just easiest process, but it sounds so complicated, but it's so easy to do. I do it in my house, and it's so simple. And
I sprout too.
yeah,
Doug Evans at the
Doug
Sprout.
Evans, yeah, I know him for a very long time.
I have my sprout machines there, and he's making some bigger ones too. Yeah, it's great it's fun to make your own food. But we're
But it's
growing food,
easy. It's
sprouting food.
easy. It's not even complicated.
It's easy for sure. It's easy.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, people don't want to just eat so much sprouts and so little by taking the cooked food out of the diet or taking the ability to eat beans and cooked vegetables out. For most people, it's lowering the percent of green vegetables they're going to eat because they're not going to eat salad, and chew all the broccoli and asparagus and all the green vegetables. You give them cooked vegetables, they eat more green vegetables. So you increase the calcium and protein in their diet, but give them by cooking the vegetables because they'll eat more vegetables that way.
If somebody's
More
juicing,
vegetable.
are they getting the protein?
No, they're not.
They're not.
Yeah.
What's your opinion about the protein powders, the vegan protein powders?
They could be helpful for an elderly person or a frail lady or have a professional athlete, but most of us don't need it because if we're really choosing the right foods on our diet, we'll get enough protein without it. But there could be some people who don't thrive on a vegan diet who could use a little extra protein, especially. You got to watch them as their age, that they're not getting too weak or they're not getting too frail or their IGF-1's not getting too low. So, I mean, there are some people who could benefit from that.
Sure. I like personally eating 2 times a day, but if I'm not able to reach my protein needs on 2 times a day, would you think it'd be helpful to eat a 3rd time a day or a 4th time a day, or is it better to eat less often and just change the amounts of what I'm eating in my meals?
It has to do with your caloric needs because for a woman whose caloric needs are low, they can eat 700 calories a meals and eat 2 times a day. But if, let's say, you're LeBron James and you need 4,000 calories a day, we don't want people eating a 2,000 calorie meal. It's too much calories at one time to put in the stomach. It'll stretch out
Sure.
the stomach. If you're eating till fullness, you're not going to digest it as efficiently. We want efficient digestion. So we don't want to eat more than, I don't think people should eat more than 700 calories at a time. The diet we feed people at the retreat to lose weight is always between 400 and 500 calories a meal. So for a woman whose caloric needs are really low, about 1,200 calories or lower, she can eat 2 meals a day. But as you go up to more caloric needs, we'd rather them eat even 3 meals a day because we don't want them to eat too much food at one time, which then impairs digestive efficiencies. People eat till they're stuffed and they're just digesting food for so many hours. They're digesting food half the night. I know for me, for example, it was my wife's birthday, and I went and I made an ice cream. I took bananas and I mixed it for the birthday. I put macadamia nuts in. I put soy milk, frozen bananas, real vanilla bean powder. I made this delicious banana ice cream. So that night I overate. I ate like too much ice cream after my meal. I was up in the middle of the night. I was up till like 12 midnight still digesting the damn meal because I ate so much food. The point I'm making is when you overeat even relatively healthy stuff, it's going to take too long to digest the meal. You're going to have reflux and discomfort and inefficient digestion. We don't want to make the meals too big. So people of a higher caloric need, they need 3 meals rather than 2 meals. With a lower caloric need, you can do 2 meals a day.
But is the caloric need based on somebody's body weight, or could it be based on someone's preference?
No, the caloric, it's not their preference. They can't prefer more calories. If they prefer more calories, they'll be overweight. If
But if
they're
they
overweight,
could
they're
they
eating too
prefer
many
less
calories.
though? Could they prefer less? Like people can. I fasted for 30 days. I had more energy on the 30th day of the fast than the first day. I mean, you don't need to eat a lot to have energy.
Well, everybody's eating too much food for sure. People, that's what I'm saying. People are eating about 3,000 calories a day, and I'm eating a lower caloric load too. I mean, I only need like 1,500, 1,600 calories a day. I'm eating 3 meals, 500 calories each. You would think a 5'9", 150-pound male would require more protein. My buddies who go skiing with it, and I go to play tennis with, eat more calories than me. But I'm doing fine on lower calorie, and I'm not losing any weight. As long as I'm not getting too thin, I'm not losing weight and dropping my weight. I'm keeping my muscle mass. I'm not losing, so I'm okay with my lower caloric intake. It's better to have your metabolism adjust to a lower caloric intake, so you can take in less calories. But people can be anorexic too if they start to get too frail or too weak, or they're eating too low calories. It's the art, right? It's an art and a science to pick out the right calories for each of us. That the most favored caloric level for you and me. You know the best for you. I know the best for me. Everybody's got to know the best level of calories for them, but they just eat everything. But most people don't try to figure out what's best for them and what's the best body size, what's the healthiest. They just keep eating all day long based on they recreate with food all day and they get too much calories in.